Okay, I'm Ruxana Raja and I'm representing the Worker Education Task Team, which is accountable to the Human Resource Development Council.
My name is Francita Blanche. I'm from Assessment College of South Africa. I'm managing the projects and I'm also an academic manager there. And I'm in the skills development for the last 9 years.
My name is Lancelot Musala. I work for Komati Power Station, ESCOM, in Mpumalanga, Middelburg.
Well, my name is Neil Lowe and I'm currently a researcher at the Stellenbosch University Water Institute.
I'm Wilma Guest-Beton of Guest Resource Services. We're a private FET and our slogan says, we train Africa.
And my interest in this conference for recognition of prior learning is the ability of institutions as well as the policy that's been recently launched around recognition of prior learning for workers specifically.
I still need to read through the policy, to be honest. I've been following the process and we are also applying, but when Joe Samuel said this morning, did you read the policy? I knew I couldn't lie about that. So tonight I'm going to read the whole policy.
Listen very carefully when he opened in his remarks. The CEO, Mr. Samuels, was very clear to say we need to study the policy, understand the policy, and see how can we start working together in terms of implementing the policy. But the main thing is RPL, there's still a gap that needs to be closed. We need to familiarize ourselves with procedures, who actually should be RPL'd, and find financial mechanisms. How do we get RPL paid for, and so on and so on.
Well, I have to be honest with you in that one of the reasons that we came here is that I am very ignorant when it comes to our RPL policy. One of the things that the Stellenbosch University Water Institute would like to do is to learn more about. And I think in terms of that, the last few days that we've been here has been highly informative. We've had some great people speaking, and all the CEOs of all the relevant quality councils and the like was highly informative, I have to say. My understanding of the RPL policy at the moment is that there definitely exists this need in South Africa, and especially I think with the past we've had, for people with informal learning, so didn't go through the formal structures of going to a school, doing a matric, as many of us had the privilege to do there. But I've still, despite not being able to do it, I've still had all these opportunities, all these learning of knowledge and knowledge gathering, and this is the process to get them to also recognize that they have these skills that we have gotten through the formal system. They've just got it informally. So that's in mind just a very broad scope of what I understand RPL to be at this moment.
The will from government must come with funding. There was this description around funding and policy development from a planning perspective. And this notion of where there's no law, there's no funding, I think we need to move beyond that bureaucracy that we're setting ourselves. I think that in my view, I have a strong opinion that SAC was the right vehicle and that they must receive the funding to do it. They must be given the mandate for implementation, coordination and collaboration of everything that happens with recognition of prior learning, and they must be given the funding that goes with that.
I think we must just have the people realistic about that. It's really something that you have gained, that and there mustn't be some unrealistic. I've looked at you, so now I know how to do the job. I think that's the basic thing that we need to emphasize when we do our planning.
Be on Quality Council for Trade and Occupations, because that's where we find people who worked before, who needs to be RPL, who've got experience, who needs to be recognized. So that's what came out outstanding for me, and we were happy to meet the women in charge, and we have to start now working hand in glove with her, ensuring that QCTO is taken to the greater level.